Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I hope you had a nice Memorial Day if you had a picnic or remembered people that are gone out of our lives. Or I'm not one to celebrate soldiers that were duped into fighting other people's wars. So that's really not my thing. I have a memory of I um anyway, the Spirit of God is my remembrance every day, not just Memorial Day, but exclusively and specifically. So, anyway, that's not my topic today, though. Um, I saw the title of a video I started listening to. Just on the title alone, um, his name is Professor Sam Backman. He's talking about reactive abuse. Um, is abuse. Uh, okay, the thing is, it shouldn't be called reactive abuse because if you're getting abused and it's called self defense. See how these medical so called professionals, which I am also a mental health care professional, um, see how some of them, will twist the words and the meanings. I mean, just because it's written in a book that reactive abuse, if I react, it's like a chemical. When you put a bicarbonate soda in vinegar, there's going to be a reaction. If there was no vinegar introduced into that bicarbonate soda, there would not be a reaction. So when an abuser smacks me and I kick him in his face back, that is not reactive abuse. That's self defense. Get it fucking straight. Just because these people that have degrees out there want to spout their shit for their abusive ways and try and write it in as laws for the people in the world, you need to keep an eye on these people. I mean, like I say, just because they want to push their terminology for something, their language for a incident doesn't make it true. Now, if I get abused and I don't retaliate on that moment and I sit and I calculate and manipulate or plan or devise a plan to harm somebody when I'm not being abused, that's abuse. Just like the abuser. When the abuser fucks with me, I'm not going to abuse back. I'm going to fucking retaliate. It's like that chemical reaction. It's a fact, you know. So their terminology on this shit, like I said, I've told you this before, you have to be really careful if you're going out in this world looking for a mental health care professional to help you do your thinking or to help your child. Oh, especially your child. I've had one psychologist and one psychiatrist fired from my state, in my state, because of their faulty care with other people. So, what I'm talking about isn't an impossibility that these people are not thinking right. You know, look at the laws they're trying to push, they're trying to make your reaction to abuse back. No, if you can call the police in when you're being abused, that's ideal. If you can't and it's called self defense, It's not reactive abuse. It's self-defense. So don't buy this shit. I don't care. And I'm going to specifically name this so-called doctor that I would not even let talk to my children, even though my children are adults, you know. And I have shared his work in the past, but this is bullshit. Reactive abuse, there is no fucking such thing. If I react to something that was introduced to me, induced, that's a natural reaction. It's not abusive. It's called self-defense. Now tell me, the abuser is the offender. That's offensive. But you don't have the right to retaliate. Oh, yeah, we do. It's all in the language, people, of what they're trying to normalize. That is not normal. You don't sit there and not defend yourself against abuse and they're going to call you abusive. You lying sacks of dog shit. Anyway, I can see why your mother named you Samuel. Just saying. Anyway, hope I get some hate here like you don't already. Sam. Professor Sam. Profess. To profess. How about that? The more they open their mouth, the more they show who they are, don't they? And that goes for me too. Yeah, my integrity's intact. Thank you anyway, and so is my defense of myself and other people. So here I am. That's why I'm out here talking about it, so you don't get away with this bullshit. Because the minute I speak it, it's out in the ether. Then when somebody else actually hears my physical video, it's in their mind. And then they take that thought and they run with it also. So no, you're not getting away with your bullshit. It just looks like you are because you're greed. You're making money off of what you do. I'm not asking anything from anybody except to defend themselves against tyrants. So I don't think anybody should go to a mental health care professional. Like somebody else knows your mind better than you do, or your heart or your soul better than you do. Yeah. I could see maybe like a single parent seeking help emotionally, something like that maybe. But God, you got to be careful out there, you know? Because my reaction to a tyrant isn't abusive, it's a reaction. It's self-defense, and I'll keep saying it. And this is bullshit. I'm not letting these monsters get away with it. You're not going to pretend that your abuse towards me is fucking okay when I retaliate. So that's it right there. I mean, any normal, and what I mean by normal is somebody that isn't agenda driven. Any normal human being is going to agree with me here. watch somebody, like, somebody's child getting abused in front of them. Watch what happens. It's like that story about the transgender that followed a guy's daughter into the bathroom, uh, dressed like a fairy, and the dad knocked his teeth out and showed him who the tooth fairy was. Now, was that dad wrong for defending his daughter? No, we know he wasn't. Any parent would. It's just like Jesus in the public park with the naked boy. What would I have done if I had seen an adult man naked with a heart on with a naked little boy with a bandage on his hoo-hoo, with medicated bandage from the rabbi rituals that we know that they do, that their Talmud gives them uh, permission to do towards children? And everybody thinks everything's so Christian and lily white, and you don't even know what you're reading, you know. I'm not speaking out against God. A lot of people might think, well, because I talk against Jesus that I'm godless. No, Jesus is not God. If you need him to save you, then you get saved by him. I sought the face of God, and that's what we're instructed to do. So, whatever. And for me to face God, that's with honesty every second of my life. My adult life, granted, you know, but these people out here have no business out here lying to everybody in the world and trying to pretend that self-defense is that there's something wrong with it, because there isn't. The minute that this world stops defending themselves, you're leaving yourself open for anybody to say and do anything they want to. Now, with this mental health community trying to redefine what is logical and real, don't tell me that you're going to sit there and get smacked in your face by somebody and not retaliate unless you're just scared to death and you're just not going to defend yourself. But if a parent saw their child get smacked in the face, you'd retaliate. That's not abusive. That's doing what's right any given moment. You're going to at least grab their arm and rip it off their body. You'll do something. Or at least push them away from your child, wouldn't you? That's a reaction. It's like that chemical reaction. It's the real out here. Not the fake ass shit that, oh, if my abuser does something to me and I do something back, that I started this fucking war. No, you start something with me, I'm going to finish it. And these fuckers are starting something with everybody. So, and you cannot intimidate me, put me in a state of fear or anything else with your fucking shit and all your ugly little mental health care professionals along with your dumb ass. Because not only am I ahead of you, I'm going to put a stop to this shit. Watch me. Your time's short, you fucking freaks. Pretending that you have the mind to oversee other people's souls. Who the fuck and what the fuck? And fuck you. Not literally. Not even in the ether. Not even close. You bastards. I'm illegitimate, so I use that term how it's meant in the second definition of it, without a parent. Anyway, yeah, it's just disgusting. Reactive abuse is abuse. Reactance. What? Reaction. That implies like I'm going to put like responding to your video. Response. It's all in the language, isn't it? Contradictory sentence. Reactive abuse is abuse. No, my reaction is my response to your action. That's disgusting. Oh, is somebody like that? I just love one day, one half hour sitting out at my picnic table, 'cause no, you ain't coming in my house. Um, Try to talk your shit around me. Even Doug's part of the dark cabal. You wouldn't even be able to spout this shit in front of him, even though he helps orchestrate it. He'd still oppose you just on principle. Seriously. That's how warped all these fuckers are, and they're actually following that spirit that harm other people, and I'm not allowing it. No more. Your little brains are going to fry. You can all get together in your groups and you can try and take me out. You're still not going to be able to do it. I'll crawl into your skin and fry you from the inside out with your guilt and your greed. You deceiving bastards. You're disgusting. So somebody wrote it in a book, and that just makes it written in stone. Like that even matters. Like you don't know what's written on your heart, what is right or wrong for everybody on this planet. So that tells me that I can instigate something with somebody like that. I can walk up and I can punch it right in its head. And if it responds, that's also abusive. So may I wish that upon you, that somebody treats you what you see as permissible. How's that? There's my wish for those type of people that actually believe this bullshit, this nonsense. If you want to call it casting spells, praying to my God, or pure balance and justice for humanity. However you want to paint me is just fine. I already painted myself, but that's okay. You can try. I'm sure you'll do a much better job, just like your brain does, right? In your heart. Oh, that's top shelf. Some top shelf shit right there. Yeah, the medical community. Wow. I've worked for physical, medical, and mental in the mental health community, and very few caregivers really care. Yeah. I was one of them that would do extra work that others weren't doing because they weren't doing their job. But when you care for people, you have to really care about them. So what do? I put in my hours. Doesn't matter where I am. If I'm doing a job, I do it with dignity and integrity, and I do it the right way. So, and if you can say the same, and even lying to yourself, how can you? How can you look in the mirror and think that you're anybody of substance when you're willing to buy a lie for your own gains and pass those lies on to God knows who? Doesn't matter to you. You don't care. Must be nice to get paid for not caring. What a good little soldier. Yeah. For the dark force, because you certainly aren't walking in the light with your bullshit. So I wish for you to get smacked, and you cannot react. Nope. Then you'd be just like them, right? Better turn the other cheek. All of them. All four of them. So I can just beat the pulp out of you. And don't you dare defend yourself. You're abusive. If you defend yourself, don't react. Oh, that's probably enough. I've made my point. If you want to keep living your lie and say that you're a mental health care professional teaching this trash and not straighten it out the right way, that pure self-defense is an actual, real, logical thing in this world, and you want to teach little people that it isn't? Yeah, we have a justice system for that if it's available when the harm is being done. If not, it's my responsibility as an adult to rectify the situation for myself or other people, depending on the situation. So that's that. Disgusting. All right, everybody. I hope you pass on this information. I'm serious. If you react to abuse, you're not abusive. You're human, and you do not want to be abused. And you have every right to retaliate. Yeah, they just don't want you to. But you're gonna, aren't you? Yeah, you better. Yeah. At least call the cops, if nothing else. But mm, you might even have to wait a day or two. But if you have to be um, reactive to their action, oh, poor them. They shouldn't have started a war they couldn't finish, right? Yeah. Okay, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Mm. some of you have a good night or a day wherever you're at. The rest of you need to have that chemical reaction